A mother disappears in Bardstown, Kentucky. Years pass. Then something extraordinary happens. A sheriff writes a letter to the FBI saying that they need help, and everything changes. But in Tennessee, Summer Wells is still missing, Sebastian Rogers is still missing, and no one is handing it to the FBI. Today, we're breaking down the difference between asking the FBI for help and actually letting them take over. This is the story of the three cases. One got justice, and the other two are frozen in silence. Right now, we're asking the question every parent in America would be screaming: why do some sheriffs swallow their pride and others seem to bury the truth? This is the case of Crystal Rogers, Summer Wells, and Sebastian Rogers comparison you haven't heard, and it's going to start on the other side of this.
Big rain, come along with me. Together with the truth you'll see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the light and share the vibe. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Hell is here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Finding truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the vibe. Catch those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the vibe. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
The pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong. Together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream,
Thank you, Esther.
every heartfelt plea. We are
Thank
one
you,
in this
Lisa.
community.
Thank you.
Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. popping, pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars, searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea, we are one in this community. In the night or in the day, girls will light and lead the way. Just as hard, enough support. Together we will hold the fort. Nearly grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
Click play and come along with me. Together with the truth you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comments here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. Defending truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comment here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Hit the like and share the vibe. Clutch those pearls, let's take the ride. Comment here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is July 10th, 2025. It is currently 4:55 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. We have a lot to talk about in this live. We are doing this live, and then I will be live later this evening for our big live that we are doing this evening. And it is on Lily and Jack Sullivan. That's one you don't want to miss. Okay. So thank you so much, Peggy. Really do appreciate you. That's very kind of you saying that. All right. Won't be long, Daily. Thank you so much, Esther. Really do appreciate you, my dear Esther, for Lily and Jack. Yes. Praying. And praying for Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers too. It's what we're going to be talking about today, in the as well as the Crystal Rogers case that we've been following for so long, and justice is finally getting there to happen. Thank you so much, Lisa. Good to see you, my dear. Still praying for the victims, especially those who have little to no children. I know, Lisa. Thank you so much for your support, my dear. I really do appreciate you. It's so good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well. And Miss Drew says, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you so much, Drew. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. Very kind of you, my dear. All right. So we're talking about the investigation. We're going to be kind of breaking this down on Crystal Rogers case. She is from Bardstown, Kentucky. The sheriff did it right. I was watching something earlier and he just said it right. He's asked the FBI for help. Meanwhile, two Tennessee children, Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers. Summer is from Rogersville. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, he is from Hendersonville. They're still missing. Summer Wells has been 4 years, and Sebastian Rogers, it has been a year and a half or so. Why? Why is that? Because in my opinion, the TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, leads. Well, they don't lead. Actually, Hendersonville leads. Again, TBI is assisting. TBI is assisting in Summer's case too. Still no answers. So we're going to explore the consequences of small town pride and ego, right? How it can delay investigations, and it can also cause missed federal support as well. We're going to look into all of it. So put a 1 in the chat if you know anything about the Crystal Rogers case. Does anyone know anything about Crystal Rogers case from Bardstown? Let me show you a picture of Crystal. This is one of the most crazy cases I've ever heard. Truly. This is Crystal Rogers right here. And the bodies were piling up in this case. Finally, we've got some justice. There has been some arrest, finally, after all of this. So I'll catch you up to date if you don't really know. Because if you don't know who Crystal Rogers is, or why her name's kind of comes up when you talk about Bardstown, Kentucky, this case had everything: a missing mom, a boyfriend who acted shady from the jump, and her father, Crystal's father, was trying to find answers about who murdered his daughter. Well, he was murdered. He was murdered himself. So her father was murdered. And now there's a murder conviction, even without a body. Crystal Rogers was 35 years young when she went missing, a mother of 5. Back in July of 2015, she vanished. Poof, gone, and has never been seen since. Her car was found 2 days later on the Bluegrass Parkway. Keys in the ignition, purse still inside, but no Crystal. No signs of struggle, and no explanation of why she would have done this. And family just said that she would have never left her kids at all. Her boyfriend at the time Whoops, 1 second. Okay, sorry, I had to fix something there. But her boyfriend at the time, Brooks Hook, said he went to bed, and when he woke up, she was gone. But he didn't seem at all concerned. He didn't join the searches. He didn't help the family at all. In fact, he lawyered up very quickly and kept living his life like nothing ever happened. Crystal's family didn't buy it for a second. Crystal's dad, his name is Tommy Ballard, became, like any parent would, obsessed with finding out who did this to his daughter. Just a year later, while hunting with his grandson, he was shot and unalived. No one was ever charged in his death, and to this day, it has always been the suspect of doing this has always been Brooks or someone close to him, which is who now is charged with Crystal Rogers' death some 10 years later, a decade later, which just happened the other day. Fast forward to 2023, the FBI finally steps in heavy. They dig up Brooks' property, seize his devices, and start making arrests. Brooks was charged with Crystal's murder. Two other men, Joseph and Stephen Lawson, were charged with helping to cover it up. And just the other day in 2025, after 10 years of silence, heartbreak, and frustration, to say the very least, Brooks was convicted of her murder. Even though they have never found her body, they're not going to stop looking. And that's where the sheriff really shines, in my opinion. And I'm going to give you some things that I believe Hawkins County and Sumner County should do. So Crystal Rogers has been a lot in the news lately. Now we're going to break it all down and all of that. So without further ado, let's get it started. Shannon, thank you so much for being an OG girl. How you doing? Justin Rods in chat. Don't forget to hit the like and share on social media. Reba. Yes, ma'am. Let's go. Okay. Y'all ready? So there is a great documentary out there. Shay McAllister, she is with WHAS 11, and she has been on this from the get-go. This is Brooks Howe. Brooks and Crystal, they owned a lot of rental property in the area. Brooks had quite a bit of money, and him in the middle, that's Crystal's that was Crystal's boyfriend at the time, and they have a child together. Crystal had a baby whenever she went missing, and these two helped him cover it up. Guilty, guilty, guilty. So let me just show you this. Some of us have been waiting for this day for so long, can't even tell you. This is Sherry. This is Crystal. This woman is one of the most remarkable, strong, classiest women I have ever met in my entire life. This woman right here is amazing. Amazing. She lost her daughter. Her husband was shot a year later, and he was looking. What's sorry, something weird. He was looking for answers.
A very good daughter. She was a very kind person. She never met a stranger. She was nice to everyone that she met. You know, she had a friend that she even let move in with her because she didn't have a place to go. And that's the type of person my daughter was. We were a very close family. And I'm not doing anything different that any mother would do for their daughter at all.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You see, to Sherry here, it's inconceivable that a mother wouldn't be searching for their children, right? But as you and I know, we see it all the time. We see it all the time. There are parents who don't look for their kids at all. There is also there also is a deputy that is perhaps was murdered because of this case as well. This is the only case that I've covered in the past where I did not feel safe going there. I did not feel safe, and that's why I kind of limited myself. I've always watched this case, I've always stayed on this case, but it is one that I never went there. It's not that far from me, and I would never go there because of the safety issues. Yeah, state trooper. Yeah. So, yeah.
Gosh, it's been really hard on me and the kids. Um, I'm just praying this will bring us some kind of closure. I want it, but it's going to be so hard for me to hear that when I just hope I can handle that when they come to me with that news, even though I've waited for 6 years. And I need closure. Her kids need
I'm going to show you the
closure.
sheriff here in a
But to
second. You're going to
physically
be like,
hear it
yes.
is going to be so hard on us. And we've got through this much, and I just hope we can handle that. One of her daughters had to come home from work today because she's just so
Yeah.
upset about everything. And one's off to college. You know, she's texting me every day with what's happening, and she feels so far away. And the other one lives out of town, and it's hard on her. And it's just been a very difficult time.
I love Sherry. God bless her. God bless her. Okay, so let me show you this. This is what I came. Well, let me show you this first, because what I came to do today is I wanted to talk about what this sheriff did, and he got his pride and his ego out of the way.
From those unindicted other members of the Houck family to a call for a brand new trial in this case, we took your top questions about the case to the best legal analyst right here in Louisville. WHAS 11's Alexandra Goldberg and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton sat down with Louisville attorney Nick Mudd.
WHAS 11 viewers asked us hundreds of questions about the Crystal Rogers trials. We brought them to our legal analyst, Louisville attorney, and former prosecutor Nick Mudd. Question 1, was this a Houck family affair?
We heard Shane Young say from the beginning, and right in Stephen Lawson's trial, that Rosemary and Nick Houck are unindicted co-conspirators. It's hard to say what they would be charged with. It could be conspiracy to commit murder. We don't know. But the problem is they have to go based on the evidence they have. And we just don't know yet what evidence they do have. I would say if they get charged, it would be within the next 6 months to a year. Could be sooner, could be later.
The case of Crystal Rogers is among several murder cases in Bardstown, including her father, Tommy Ballard, and Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis, killed in 2013.
Yes, this was Jason Ellis. It was someone who knew he was on his way home, and they put a tree out in the road. So he got out of his car so he could try to move the tree out of the road. It was a setup, and they killed him. The bodies were piling up.
Officer Jason Ellis, killed in 2013, all still unsolved. Question 2.
Could we get the full story on what's happening in Bardstown?
I mean, people have worked thousands and thousands of hours on this,
In
and
my
the question
opinion,
is,
Brooks,
is
Crystal's
that are those resources going to be available to switch focus? Because it's
husband,
not
who
as
she
simple
died.
as saying, okay, we think you're involved too, we're just going to charge you. It's not that simple.
Question 3.
Do you think that the judge will take the sentencing recommendation and give Brooks life and give Joseph 25 total?
I mean, you're better off buying a lottery ticket than to think Judge Sims is going to go below the recommended sentence here.
But also expect a big legal challenge ahead.
Couple things are going to come. There 100% before sentencing will be a motion for a new trial. Alexandra, I'm telling you, it's coming. It's going to be long. It's going to be lengthy. It's going to be contentious. Secondly, appeals will be filed.
A clear message from both Bardstown residents and the legal system. It's not over yet. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11.
So Bardstown is called America's most beautiful small town. Thank you, Hey Jude. 15 months coming in clutch. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. It's called America's most beautiful small town. Now I want to show you. This is the video that I wanted to show you. And Ronnie Lawson, Eric Craddock, please do this for Summer Wells. Please do this for Sebastian Rogers. If you're stuck, there's nothing wrong with that. Just hand it over if you're stuck.
The Nelson County Sheriff, in a one-on-one interview, tells WHAS 11 News he believes other members of the Houck family
Listen to how open he
may
is.
be in line next for
sheriff.
prosecution. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Doug
Canadian
Croft.
Cookie.
It is certainly the big question that many of you have been asking us. The verdict in the Crystal Rogers
Thank you,
case
Lynn.
was what many in Bardstown have been waiting for, including the Nelson County Sheriff. He turned the case over to the FBI years ago, hoping they could get this very result. And today he sat down with WHAS 11's Shay McAllister.
10 years ago, the Crystal Rogers investigation started right here at the Nelson County Sheriff's Office when Sherry Ballard came here to report her daughter missing. And today, one day after a verdict in that case, the sheriff tells me he's proud of the work that was done, but there's still more to do. And he is confident more convictions will be on the way. Crystal Rogers' missing poster still hangs on the front door of the sheriff's.
10 years. 10 years that has been on that window. 10 years.
Department.
That will stay there as long
This
as
is
I'm
the
the sheriff. We got a conviction, but we got to bring her home.
Sheriff Raymond Penaroa says it was his idea to turn the case over to the FBI. He sent a letter in 2019 asking for help.
It was.
Did y'all hear that? Let's give it up for this sheriff who ego was not the main thing. It's absolutely just getting answered for Crystal. Right. And that's results. Because listen, I've always been supportive of what's that? Okay. I got it. I've always been supportive of Sumner County. I've not really been supportive of Hawkins County. And I believe, sometimes they just don't have whatever they need, right? And having the FBI give you resources is different than having the FBI take over the case. Big difference.
It was kind of stagnant.
Listen to
I'm
this.
the sheriff. We got a conviction, but we got to bring her home.
Sheriff Raymond Penaroa says it was his idea to turn the case over to the FBI. He sent a letter in 2019 asking for help.
It was kind of stagnant. We were kind of at the same place, and we needed a fresh set of eyes to come in.
We were kind of stagnant, and we were at kind of the same place, and we needed a fresh set of eyes. Now, you said that, Mr. Craddock, we need a fresh set of eyes, never hurt no one, is how you said it. Give it over. Give it to the FBI. Take it off of you and give it to the FBI. Right? No shame in it. Do what is right.
And take a look.
But he said he saw his department's work on display at trial, evidence they collected, people they knew were involved. Do you think the jury got it right?
1,000%.
Listen to how open this sheriff is.
1,000%.
Do you think this community is safer after yesterday's verdict?
It is.
As for the two unindicted co-conspirators mentioned in the case, Rosemary Houck and Nick Houck, he predicts their time is coming.
I can foresee things coming. Don't know for a fact, but I've been in this for a little bit over 19 years. And I can see a future indictment or arrest on those two.
And what?
Oh, he can see a future indictment or arrest on Rosemary, and I forget who else she said. He said, that's interesting.
What about the other unsolved cases from this community? You know, the Ballard.
What about the other unsolved cases? Now listen to what he says right here.
Family still waiting on Tommy's case. The Ellis family still waiting on Jason's case. Do you see this verdict pushing any movement in either one of those?
Yes.
Why do
Watch him smile.
you think so?
Deep down, you have that gut feeling, and scary, but it's still the same from day one to now.
And do you think it might be the same family that was just involved in Crystal's case?
Could be.
For Jason's, what about Tommy's?
Oh, I'm 100% on Tommy's. Yes.
It was the Houck family.
I believe so. He was getting too close. He was going to find his.
This is dad. This is dad who was murdered by the Houck family. One of them. And he just gave his opinion. It's so refreshing to hear a sheriff actually give an answer whenever you ask him a question. Right? He's dead now because the sheriff said, yeah, he was getting too close to his daughter's murder. He was finding answers.
His daughter.
And you think that cost him his life?
I believe so.
Listen.
Yes.
And that was just involved in Crystal's case?
Could be.
For Jason's, what about Tommy's?
Oh, I'm 100% on Tommy's. Yes.
It was the Houck family.
I believe so. He was getting too close. He was going to find his daughter.
Thank
and
you,
you think
Jude.
that cost him his life?
I
Yeah.
believe so. I know so.
When do you see movement in the cases?
Isn't it
Sooner rather
great?
than later? Do you
Isn't
think
it
we'll
refreshing to hear, you know, not a politician, not political talk, not bullshit talk, just, yeah, in my opinion, I believe so. Well, give us your fucking opinion, Craddock. Give us your opinion. Fuck, what's his name? Lawson. It's so refreshing to hear a sheriff just say, "That's my opinion." Give us your opinion on something. Right? You'll tell the people on social media to shut up and everything else, but you won't give your opinion on anything else. So it's really refreshing. Thank you so much, Lacey. 14 months. Finally caught alive. Miss you. Love you, Miss Lacey. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. Yes, Justin. Answers are too far and in between when it comes to Tennessee. Yes. Yeah. Give us your opinion on something on these cases. Right? This sheriff does it. It's not going to harm the investigation. You saying, give us a little more. The public will help.
see it
Yeah.
next year?
Soon. Soon.
He says for this community, the verdict is a win, but the work isn't done. And he looks forward to the day America's most beautiful small town is to reclaim that reputation. In Bardstown, Shay McAllister, WHAS 11 on your side.
In her home.
Sheriff Raymond Penaroa says it was his idea to turn the case over to the FBI. He sent a letter in 2019 asking for help.
It was kind of stagnant. We were kind of at the same place, and we needed a fresh set of eyes to come in and take a look.
But he said he saw his department's work on display at trial, evidence they collected, people they knew were involved. Do you think the jury got it right?
You know what they did?
1,000.
You know what they did? When they asked the FBI, you know what the FBI did shortly after? They went to Brooks' house and started digging up his driveway, digging up everything. They don't have the resources, these, small, and it's not their fault. That's the thing. It's not their fault. They only have a certain amount of resources, right? If you let the FBI get on it, they can get on it, right? And we're going to talk about the difference in assisting versus taking over the case. I just want to see this again real quick.
1,000%.
Do you think this community is safer after yesterday's verdict?
It is.
As for the two unindicted co-conspirators mentioned in the case, Rosemary Hauk and Nick Hauk, he predicts their time is coming.
I can foresee things coming. Don't know for a fact, but I've been in this for a little bit over 19 years. And I can see a future indictment or arrest on those two.
And what about the other unsolved cases from this community? The Ballard family still waiting on Tommy's case. The Ellis family still waiting on Jason's case. Do you see this verdict pushing any movement in either one of those?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Deep down, you have that gut feeling, and scary, but it's still the same from day one to now.
And do you think it might be the same family that was just involved in Crystal's case?
Could be.
For Jason's, what about Tommy's?
Oh, I'm 100% on Tommy's. Yes.
It was the Hauk family.
I believe so. He was getting too close. He was going to find his daughter.
And you think that cost him his life?
I believe so. I know so.
When do you see movement in the cases? Sooner rather than later? Do you think we'll see it
Yeah.
next year?
Soon. Soon.
He says for this community, the verdict is a win, but the work isn't done. And he looks forward to the day America's most beautiful small town is to reclaim that.
It's so good to hear. It really is. It's just so good to hear. Now, let's go over why sometimes they don't ask for help, right? This man right here asked the FBI for help for crystals and Tommy's and and Eric Craddock needs to, Ronnie Lawson, right? Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Hendersonville, Tennessee. That is Sebastian Rogers. And Hawkins County, Tennessee is Summer Wells. TBI is assisting, which is good, but they aren't number one on the case, right? If hold on, let me pull this one over. 2 seconds. Other reasons, all kinds of reasons why they don't, right? A lot of times, small little sheriff agencies, they don't have even cell phone triangulation technology. They don't have the deep type of forensic labs. They don't have behavioral profilers. They don't have digital trace teams. Think types of phone dumps, Snapchat, encryption, cracking tech, that type of thing. So, if the sheriff's office are still using fax machines, they're not going to track a digital forensic in today's world. It's no disrespect. I'm really not trying to give disrespect, right? But they simply don't have it many times. They're afraid that they look incompetent, right? Turning over the case to the FBI or even TBI. They're admitting we can't do this, right? And in sheriff's politics, admitting that means voters might not reelect you. So instead, they keep the case and do nothing meaningful to it, right? Sometimes the badge gets heavier than the missing child they're supposed to be looking for. And it shouldn't be that way. Should not be that way at all. What else? Personal relationships get in the way. In small towns, everyone knows everyone. The suspect could be related to a deputy, a witness, might go to the same church as the sheriff's family, the missing child's parent, maybe have dated a cop once, right? It can lead to bias, right? It's hard to investigate your neighbor when your kid plays basketball with, someone or goes to ballet with their, they know each other in some way or another. They can control the narrative. Local agencies can block interviews, delay FOIA requests, and go quiet for weeks, months, even years, right? They release just enough to sound busy, but not enough to help the public help them. And that's gets very frustrating. Many and most major breakthroughs of cold cases are generated from the public, right? If the sheriff refuses to release info, those tips are never, ever going to happen. Ever going to happen. I think that's a big one. And I think this is a big one too. They don't want oversight. I think this one is a very big one, in my opinion. Don't want oversight. Why do they not, want oversight? Well, letting the FBI, take over, opening the case file, that opens you up to federal scrutiny, right? You don't want to be criticized by the feds, if you will. If there were early mistakes, missed leads, or worse, corruption, it's all exposed. Some of these departments would rather bury the truth than be embarrassed by it. And I believe that is a huge one, specifically for Hawkins County. Right? When a sheriff's office gets stuck, right? You're not just losing time, you're losing public trust, right? You're losing answers. These cases, they need leadership for sure. They mismanage the first 48 hours and never recover. That can be one. I think that is something very, very possible in both Summers and Sebastian's case. I think they both started out on the wrong foot, and they just never, perhaps, maybe recovered from it. The first 48 hours, right, of a missing person or homicide case are everything. Local agencies often waste the window. No immediate, perimeters or anything. No early interviews locked down. Don and Candace home, they didn't start forensics until the next day in the home, and they let them spend the damn night in the house. In Sebastian's case, they should have had a detective go to Edgar's place and stop him right there and do an interview with him right there, as well as KK and Seth. They should have done that. Shouldn't have let, someone go 3.5 hours away and spend the night, in the first 72 hours of a child going missing as well. So there's that. And time, right? You need to pull the GPS data, especially vehicle data. Vehicle data, I was learning this in a class I was taking. Vehicle data overwrites very quickly. It overwrites very, very quickly. And as soon as something happens, you need to pull the vehicle data. stat ASAP quickly, right? Any of the data. If you don't start pulling that stuff in the first day, you're fucked many times, especially in these cases, a lot of times. Right? They often don't even know what they're looking at. What looks like a runaway could be trafficking, right? Something that looks like an overdose can be staging, right? Something that looks like, an autistic child just walked out on his own, barefooted in the middle of the night and nothing shows it, can be something much worse. Much, much worse. So there's that. Without, specialized like FBI behavioral analysis, that kind of thing. One thing that I do appreciate that Hawkins County did is they did do the child abduction rapid response card. They did do that in Summer's case. They didn't do it in Sebastian's. Sometimes they just treat everything as a small town problem. And sometimes big things happen in small towns, right? Many times they stop talking and the public stops caring as well. Stop giving updates. When's the last time we've heard from you, Ronnie Lawson? When's the last time we've heard from you, Mr. Craddock? Stop answering questions. People can call you. All you are is a jerk to them for people still interested in Summer's case and Sebastian's. Right? I understand. I get it that it's easy for people to just bitch, right? I get it. I understand. Sometimes people just bitch because for whatever reason. And it's easier said than done. I understand that. But after a year and a half and 4 years, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Right? Public pressure is absolutely everything in cold cases and unsolved cases, right? Whenever anything like this happens, the second people start getting silent on these cases, the case dies in the court of public opinion. And the court of public opinion is so important. It really is so important. Yeah, they haven't found Crystal's body. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, it would be easier, in my opinion, Hey Jude, because an adult can, go start a new life more than a child, right? So, and this is it. Ronnie Lawson hasn't spoken on Summer publicly. I couldn't tell you when. There hasn't been an update on Sebastian in a year. And when the sheriff is no longer talking about it. He wants you to forget it, in my opinion. They want you to forget it. If he did not want you to forget it, they would be talking about it still. They would be asking questions. They would be answering questions, more importantly. Right? They build walls, not bridges. Many times they don't work well with FBI, local media, or victim advocacy groups. Well, that's a surefire yes, for sure. Right? They treat outsiders as people who are insulting them or not supportive. They don't want a second opinion. They want you to be obedient and just shake your head up and down at them. That's what they want, in my opinion. Right? It's not a pissing contest. You're there to find a child, children, solve these missing children's cases. They're out there, and there are people who know where Summer Moon Utah Wells is. There are people that know where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is. And do we just say, okay, oh well, you know, it'll never be solved. They just get on with it. No. Put out a presser about the next day, so-called age drawing. It looks like a young Don Wells. Yeah. Yep. A lot of times these cases stack and they're just burnout, right? A lot of small little sheriffs, rural areas, right? Many times the same officials, they do DV, they do theft rings, they do homicides, they do DUI crashes, drug busts, cold cases, missing children, anything. Right? And they're maxed out. No energy, not enough training, no bandwidth, not enough resources, and no backup. Right? I mean, you can't expect 3 guys and a retired bloodhound to solve something that needs a bureau. You know what I mean? That needs the FBI on it. So it's very frustrating. This is why we're not getting answers. And it's very frustrating. This is Crystal Rogers' daughter, one of her daughters. Now, she didn't deserve what was done to her at all.
Rosemary and Nick had something to do with it. And I think that will all come out within time.
Does today give a sense of closure?
Somewhat. I would still wish we would be able to lay her to rest the way she needs to be.
Do you think that will ever happen?
In time, yeah. I do hope that it will happen.
She's talking about her mother. Remember that.
Yeah. That would be very relieving for me and our family.
Is there anything else you want to say, Ashley?
I just want to thank everybody here in Bowling Green, really. Their respect and them letting us come here and do what we needed to do was very, very helpful. Ashley Miller. You're welcome.
And Ashley, I don't know if you said this already. Sorry, I'm cutting.
No, you're fine.
Reaction from you guys whenever that sentencing recommendation came back so quickly, especially after the verdict that came down.
They knew what needed to be done, and they got what they needed to be done.
Sorry, we just came in
No,
late.
you're fine.
So I don't know if this has been asked. If you could say anything to the Lawsons or Brooks Haug.
I think it needs to
I
be a
would
week.
say
Cloops. 1 week.
it's not fair. It's not fair what they did. Not at all. I might not have been as close to Mom as my brothers and sisters were, but there's been days in my life where I've just sat down and cried because I wanted my mom there. Like having my babies. Like she would have loved my kids. She was a great mom, and she did not deserve what was done to her at all.
And again, sorry if this has been asked already, but
No, you're fine.
what do you think? How do you think Tommy Ballard would feel?
Oh, he would be ecstatic right now. He would be crying hard. But he was like one of the main investigators at the beginning of the case. And I actually lived with my Peppa and my Mama Sherry from the time I was little. So I got to watch him day after day practically kill himself to make sure that Mom was mentioned constantly.
Thank you.
Yep. That's what a parent does. It's what a parent does. And whenever parents aren't out looking for them, or just in a few days, they're like, oh, sorry, I don't know what we're going to do. They're never going to be found, or I'll see them in the resurrection. That doesn't work. That's not right. It's not the way it goes. It's not the way it goes, right? So I really hope that something comes of this. And I'm glad these three were found guilty in the death and murder of Crystal Rogers. And I'm sure they'll be in trial again for others. And there's probably others that the hammer is going to come down on, as the sheriff mentioned as well. So this family has lost and endured so much, and hopefully something gives way soon. There's a really good documentary out here that it's just look up Bardstown Murders or Crystal Roger documentary. And if you want to know how crazy this case is, layer by layer by layer by layer, watch that. It's very good. It's very good. Right, PG? Yeah, exactly. Guys, I will be back here at 7:30, about an hour and a half from now. We're going to be talking about Lily and Jack Sullivan case. We've been digging, and I'll say, in my opinion, I think we know what happened. I feel pretty, I think we know what happened now. And Daniel, I know you'll be watching. Malaya, you'll probably be watching too. There are people talking. Daniel, Malaya. There are people talking. And in my opinion, I think Lily and Jack's case will be solved. Will be solved. Daniel, Malaya, there's a lot of things you're not telling us about that morning, aren't you? And there is a lot of things that happened that week, isn't there? In my opinion. Lots of things. Lots of things. So, guys, I will see you at 7:30. Hey, girl. Can you believe it? Finally, Angel talks too fast. She is one that has always been on the Bardstown case, and she's done amazing coverage of it. So thank you, Angel. Good to see you, honey. All right, guys. I'll see you guys at 7:30 Eastern. That's about an hour and 40 minutes or so from now. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you all so much for joining me. I love you all. Appreciate you. See you guys later.